San Antonio, Spanish for Saint Anthony, officially the city of San Antonio, is a city in Texas, United States. The city is the seventh most populous in the United States, the second largest in the southern United States, and the second most populous in Texas. It is the 12th most populous city in North America, with 1,434,625 residents in 2020. Founded as a Spanish mission and colonial outpost in 1718, the city in 1731 became the first chartered civil settlement in what is now present-day Texas. The area was then part of the Spanish Empire. From 1821 to 1836, it was part of the Mexican Republic. It is the oldest municipality in Texas, having celebrated its 300th anniversary on May 1, 2018. From 2000 to 2010, the city was the fastest growing of the top 10 largest cities in the United States. It was the second in growth in that category from 1990 to 2000. The city of San Antonio serves as the seat of Bexar County. San Antonio is the center of the San Antonio, New Braunfels Metropolitan Statistical Area. Commonly called Greater San Antonio, the metropolitan area had a population of 2,601,788 based on the 2020 U.S. Census estimates, making it the 24th largest metropolitan area in the United States and third largest in Texas. Straddling the regional divide between South and Central Texas, San Antonio anchors the southwestern corner of an urban megaregion colloquially known as the Texas Triangle. Downtown San Antonio and downtown Austin are approximately 80 miles, 130 kilometers apart, both falling along the Interstate 35 corridor. Some observers expect the two metropolitan regions to form a new metroplex similar to Dallas and Fort Worth. San Antonio was named by a 1691 Spanish expedition for the Portuguese priest Saint Anthony of Padua, whose feast day is June 13. The city contains 5 18th-century Spanish frontier missions, including the Alamo and San Antonio Missions National Historical Park. Together these were designated as UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 2015. Other notable attractions include the River Walk, the Tower of the Americas, SeaWorld San Antonio, the Alamo Bowl, and Marriage Island. Commercial entertainment includes Six Flags, Fiesta Texas, and Morgan's Wonderland amusement parks. According to the San Antonio Convention and Visitors Bureau, the city is visited by about 32 million tourists a year. It is home to the five-time National Basketball Association (NBA) champion San Antonio Spurs. It hosts the annual San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo, one of the largest such events in the U.S. The U.S. Armed Forces have numerous facilities in and around San Antonio. Fort Sam Houston, which has Brooke Army Medical Center within it, is the only one within the city limits. Lackland Air Force Base, Randolph Air Force Base, Kelly Air Force Base, Camp Bullis, and Camp Stanley are outside the city limits. San Antonio is home to 4 Fortune 500 companies and the South Texas Medical Center, the only medical research and care provider in the South Texas region. San Antonio is also the largest majority Hispanic city in the United States, with 64% of its population being Hispanic. The Alamo is a historic Spanish mission and fortress compound founded in the 18th century by Roman Catholic missionaries in what is now San Antonio, Texas, United States. It was the site of the Battle of the Alamo in 1836, a pivotal event of the Texas Revolution in which American folk heroes James Bowie and Davy Crockett died. Today it is a museum in the Alamo Plaza Historic District and a part of the San Antonio Mission's World Heritage Site. Originally named the Misión San Antonio de Valero, it was one of the early Spanish missions in Texas, built for the education of local American Indians after their conversion to Christianity. The mission was secularized in 1793 and then abandoned. 10 years later, it became a fortress housing the 2nd Flying Company of San Carlos de Paris military unit, who likely gave the mission the name Alamo. During the Texas Revolution, Mexican General Martín Perfecto de Cos surrendered the fort to the Texian army in December 1835, following the siege of Bexar. A relatively small number of Texian soldiers then occupied the compound for several months. The defenders were wiped out at the Battle of the Alamo on March 6, 1836. As the Mexican army retreated from Texas several months later, they tore down many of the Alamo walls and burned some of the buildings. For the next 5 years, the Alamo was periodically used to garrison soldiers, both Texian and Mexican, but was ultimately abandoned. In 1849, several years after Texas was annexed to the United States, the U.S. Army began renting the facility for use as a quartermaster's depot, before again abandoning the mission in 1876 after nearby Fort Sam Houston was established. The Alamo Chapel was sold to the state of Texas, which conducted occasional tours but made no effort to restore it. The remaining buildings were sold to a mercantile company that operated them as a wholesale grocery store. The Daughters of the Republic of Texas, DRT, formed in 1891 and began trying to preserve the Alamo. Adina Emilia de Zavala and Clara Driscoll successfully convinced the state legislature in 1905 to purchase the remaining buildings and to name the DRT as the permanent custodian of the site. Over the next century, periodic attempts were made to transfer control of the Alamo from the DRT. In early 2015, Texas Land Commissioner George P. Bush officially moved control of the Alamo to the Texas General Land Office. The Alamo and the four missions in the San Antonio Missions National Historical Park were designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site on July 5, 2015. I visited San Antonio many times. Once at a scientific meeting, 4 of my Taiwanese friends were not very impressed by the Alamo. 3 of them never saw a movie about the Alamo. I gave each of them a copy of Disney's Davy Crockett at the Alamo starring Fess Parker. Another evening while walking on River Walk, a beautiful young woman saw me wearing a beautiful leather cowboy hat. She leaned over the railing and said pretty loud, so her female friends could hear, "I'll sleep with you if you give me your hat." I said, "I accept, let me tell my wife," and friends who were walking in back of me. I said, "Can I, please?" Everyone had a good laugh, especially the girls sitting in the outdoor bar.